Today I'm sharing several books that cover different topics if you are learning about Canada. This was probably my favorite book about Canada. It is Out of the Woods, and it's not based on any of your like typical expected topics of Canada, but it's about this little boy that lived in a hotel kind of style house where lumberjacks would work, and then a fire comes through Canada and everybody has to go into the lake to be safe from the fire. Not just people, but animals also. This is based on a true story. We found this one to be a really good read, and again, like I said, not based on your typical topics, but really still covering those logging stories, what that lifestyle would have been like, and then wildfires that really do take place. There are many books that cover the topic of polar bears. We always love Gail Gibbons' books. They're just very insightful, well written, fun to be looking at. And then this book, The Polar Bear by Jeannie Desmond, was a really good one. It's about a little girl who has learned about polar bears and is exploring just different things about them. It's kind of as if she is in the book. It happens to be this book that she is carrying around, but you are going to learn so much about polar bears in here, and it's just beautiful. Beautiful illustrations and really fun to read. We did have to take 2 or 3 sittings to get through this book, but I actually really liked this one. So this one we just kind of skimmed in this case. This one was fantastic. The Northern Lights, of course, a great topic to cover with Canada. And this book, Olak and the Northern Lights, is about this snow fox that goes to different animals asking them, what is that? And then the stories that each animal has given is from different mythologies that people have believed over the years. So this was a really fun one to kind of go over, and there is spiritual things in it, but then of course you get to talk about where Northern Lights actually come from and that God created this beautiful thing for us to witness. This isn't like, you're not going to read that in here, but you can talk about it as a family. The very first Last Time by Jan Andrews is a book that still has me really curious, wanting to learn more. It's about this girl who goes to walk on the bottom of the sea. Apparently this is a thing you do. You crawl down through the ice, and then underneath there are mussels that you can get, and just like so much to explore, different tunnels, but when the tide comes in, it can get very dangerous. This was a really interesting one, something I have never thought of before. Fun to kind of dig a little bit deeper into what maybe the lives of those who live in Canada, what that might look like. Now, I don't know that this is just about Canada, but this book is called Moose and Mouse. And so I had my first/second graders going through this as a read aloud when we were learning about mooses, moosei. Multiple moose. Of course, you have to learn about a dog sled team, and this one, Dog Team by Gary Polson, was a really great read for us. Although I will admit I didn't really catch the flow of the poem, the way the style was written, but it was very beautiful to look at, and that's just my own I don't know, inability to read it the way that it should be, but this was really a good one to do. My boys have also done White Fang and Hatchet, which both take place in Canada as well, and so this was nice to kind of pair along with that as we're learning about dog sled teams. Houses of Snow, Skin, and Bones was really interesting. This doesn't just take you through how to build an igloo, as we call them, but also the other ways that people would make their houses. Maybe they're connected, maybe they're using carcasses or bones of like a whale. This one is full of information. I read a lot of it to my kids while they were making marshmallow igloos, and this was just a really fun one to learn a little bit more. We're also trying to make plans, because we don't have like the specific kind of snow that they have. How can we make an igloo this winter with what we have available to us? All of these books and more were recommended in our Go Global curriculum that we are using this year. You can click here to see a full video review of this curriculum. I'm also going to be making a review of several books from Mexico pretty soon, so make sure you are subscribed so you see when those become available.